Karen, whatever.
Another witness, another instance of perjury, or instances, I'd say.
Greetings, friends. Welcome back to the channel. If you have been here before, or welcome if it is your first time tuning in. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the last 3 witnesses called by Karen Read's defense team and what the jury thought of these witnesses. Most specifically, we'll be taking a look at Jonathan Diamandis, who is a friend, a longtime friend of former Officer Proctor, Michael Proctor. We are also going to take a look at Kelly Dever and Dr. Marie Russell. All right, so before we do that, let's start this video with our mantra for Karen Read. And I would like you to all repeat this with me, and if you get a moment, jot this down. Truth and justice for Karen Read prevails. Her freedom is now arranged. Today we're going to be working with the Unfolding Path Tarot deck. It's one of my favorites. If you have been watching my videos, you will have seen it before. And if not, if you are new here, please consider taking a moment now and subscribing to the channel. It's a great way that you can help me to support my endeavors here. Give this video a thumbs up, share it, leave a comment. Any and all kind and respectful comments are welcome here, even if you have a different point of view. As long as you deliver that with kindness and respect, it will be just fine. We can talk, we can discuss. First question here for my guides is, what did the jury think of Jonathan Diamandis?
A whack job, and then uses the C word to describe. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
He is a longtime friend of Michael Proctor. He was brought on the stand to read off some of Proctor's very inappropriate, hideous, horrible, and vile text messages in his conversation with his friends regarding Karen Read. All right, what did the jury think of this? What did they think of him? And what about the text messages as well? What was their take on all of that? Let's take a look. Four of Swords. And the Five of Wands. And the High Priestess. The Five of Wands talks about conflict or inner conflict, most specifically. And I believe that this jury was very keyed into the fact that this man did not want to be there. He did not want to be reading off these text messages, some of which were really horrible. And this man was basically at odds with himself with regard to how he wanted to present this. In fact, I believe this jury was very, very much aware that even being there, even having been called to testify by the defense, was something that Jonathan Diamandis was very torn about, because honestly, the very last thing he wanted to do was be there. The jury could sense it. I think each one of us could probably sense it as well. So this was almost like a no-brainer. I believe that at least 5 jury members, if not more, were very, very keyed into the uncomfortableness residing inside of Jonathan Diamandis as he testified, as he read off those texts in question. Okay, now we have the Four of Swords and the High Priestess. This is telling me that this particular witness didn't really do all that much to move the needle for this jury. Some of them were like, yes, okay, we get this. Move on, let's move along. I think that some jury members, especially the female ones, they just did not want to hear this. It was extremely distressing to them, this content. The words that Diamandis was relaying, these in and of themselves were something that the jury took notice of. But his demeanor, his affect, his reluctance, his hesitance, all of the above really was something that the jury just sort of understood, because they were like, all right, this man is basically being forced to testify against his friend. So the likelihood is that he doesn't want to be there. He's going to be pretty monotone, pretty flat, emotionless, basically to state without stating that the inner conflict was real. Okay, let's move on now to our next witness under the psychic microscope, Kelly Dever.
Threatened to charge me with perjury during our phone call prior to the first trial if I didn't lie on the stand right now. I was never on the scene. I never spoke to a witness. I never met a victim. I never spoke with a suspect. This was just a random shift for me.
Kelly Dever, defense witness. Let's see what the jury thought about her. The Ace of Wands, okay. The Chariot, check that out. And the Queen of Swords, okay. Very interesting. Look at this. Look at the female representation here. Very interesting to me. First off, the Chariot jumps out at me. We have this young female, dark-haired female. To me, that definitely resembles her a little bit, for sure, right? Young woman. She's riding atop of this, looks like a tiger, right? It's interesting because usually the Chariot is a horse-drawn carriage with two stallions representing dark and light. But in this deck, we have just the one animal. And this woman seems to be attempting to control this beast and to lead where it is that she wants it to go. Now, there are all these stars around her. To me, this represents law enforcement. Anytime I see a star with reference to this particular case, I think about law enforcement, and she is a member of law enforcement. The jury got the impression almost immediately that this young woman, Kelly Dever, was not there to play. She was all about being in control. She was all about trying to lead this entirety of her testimony in the direction she wanted it to go. And not only her, but I believe they recognized that there was another hand guiding, judging her, watching her, listening to her. A hand that would potentially hold the fate of her career in its grasp. And I think this was not lost on this jury. The jury recognized Kelly Dever's bravado, but what did they think about her tone, her affect, the way she sort of snapped back at Ellen Jackson, her obviously very combative demeanor? Queen of Swords is typically someone who has a very cutting, very sharp edge to her. Not a warm and fuzzy person. And this jury recognized that almost immediately. So this jury looked upon Kelly Dever as somebody who was very difficult. They saw her as someone who would stop at nothing to make her point, even if it meant cutting someone else down to size. And I don't think they really appreciated the way she tried to mince words, the way she tried to imply certain things were being put upon her. I believe this jury was aware that Kelly Dever had an ulterior motive, because typically the Queen of Swords does have one. She's there to measure, and she's there to apply words as needed, carefully, so that everything about her looks good, so that she could be in control, so that she would be free to continue to work in her career without having to be reprimanded. I think this entire angle was not lost on this jury. I'm told to get one more card for this woman. My question would be, did they believe her? Did they believe what she was saying? Did they believe that she had a false memory? She proclaimed that she had a false memory. Did they believe her? The Moon is a no card. So largely, this jury did not believe her. So this is not meant to imply that every single juror thought she was lying. However, the Moon is that obscurity. Under the Moon's energy, we do not see things clearly. Under the Moon's energy, things are hidden. They are placed carefully out of sight, as opposed to being under the bright light of day. So I believe largely this jury was very skeptical or suspicious about her motivations. I believe that they feel as though she was hiding something. And I believe her demeanor and the way she attempted to control and navigate and answer things strategically was recognized. And to many of these jurors, this particular witness was very unclear. They felt she was obscure. Many of them felt she was not being truthful, and they just did not jive with her. Just by the facial expressions, just by the depictions here, you can see that the jury was not feeling Kelly Dever. What about you guys? What did you think of her? Did Kelly Dever's testimony help the defense? I believe that it did. I believe that it did. Okay, let's move on to our final witness that was called most recently, which was Dr. Marie Russell.
Do you have an opinion as to what caused these injuries?
Yes, I believe that these injuries are the result of dog bites and or claw marks.
So Dr. Marie Russell was there to basically talk about the dog bite marks and scratch marks or whatever on John O'Keefe's arm. So we're going to see what the jury thought of Dr. Marie Russell. Oh, look at this. The 10 of Cups. No surprise there. No surprise there to me. All right, we did have a few flop outs, so let's just see what they were. The 10 of Cups. The King of Swords. The Sun. The Strength card, and the Page of Cups. Gosh, guys, can you see the difference in the energy here from the jury's perspective on Kelly Dever to that of Marie Russell, even to that of Jonathan Diamandis, where it was almost like neutral. They weren't really having any sort of visceral response to him or any sort of like personal feelings toward him. They did have it to Kelly. And now when it comes to Dr. Russell, look at this, the 10 of Cups, the Page of Cups. Her messages were being received very warmly. Dr. Russell feels like family. Dr. Russell, to this jury, to a large percentage of this jury, feels like someone they know, feels like someone they can trust. They felt as though her presence was strong, but in a gentle way. She wasn't riding atop of the beast, as was Kelly Dever, attempting to manipulate its moves and control it. Dr. Russell was stroking the beast in this case being a metaphor for the prosecution's assertion that there were no dog bites. And I believe with this beast here, we're also looking at a potential animal having been involved. And Dr. Marie Russell is like the dog whisperer. The jury understood that she was there to explain, to enlighten with the sun here. Remember that with Kelly Dever, the jury was under that dark, suffocating energy of the moon. However, when they moved into Dr. Marie Russell's energy, we're in the sun. These gorgeous sunflowers here. Everything is clear. Everything is clear. She cut with the King of Swords right through anything that was meant to confuse this jury or mislead this jury. Not only did they find her to be likable, very likable, but they found her to be easy to understand. They did not find her to be defensive or argumentative. They truly enjoyed her. Not only that, but her words, her expertise, I believe, is one that the jury is respectful of. So did she help? Did she help the defense's case? Has she helped thus far? The Lover's card. That's a big yes. And again, so interesting. All of this emotional energy coming up around Dr. Russell. A great many, if not all of these jurors, truly feel connected to Dr. Marie Russell. And they feel as though her information and her presence is really going to be something notable and important to the defense's case. Alrighty guys, if you made it to the end of this video, then I have a special treat for you. I'm going to pull an angel oracle card, a collective angel oracle card for my lovely viewers and subscribers, as a way of me showing thanks for each one of you for supporting this channel in any way that you can. Please do keep in mind that any tips via Venmo or Cash App are appreciated beyond words. Any super thanks or things of that nature are also greatly appreciated. But most of all, just your being here means the world to me, helping me to build this channel so that I can continue to bring you the content that you enjoy. All right, let's get an angel card for you guys today. Okay. Cupid. So your angels are sending you love today, guys. And they are saying to you, we send great waves of love into your heart and mind, awakening your love for life itself. Your clear decision to accept and enjoy romance has triggered this reawakening. Allow yourself to spontaneously celebrate love in all of its glorious aspects. So, guys, there you go. Your angels are sending you love today in any form. If you are in a loving relationship, treasure that. This love can be for your family, for your significant other, for your pets, for your children, for your friends. Know that your angels are sending you more love today, and feel that love. Alrighty guys, hope you enjoyed this video, so don't leave without giving it a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Take good care.